Welcome to episode 52 of Think Big with Michael Zellner. All positive, no politics. My guests today are Mike Cook and Stevie Morgan. This is Michael's second appearance on the show, and I'm excited to bring him back on today to talk about boxing, the big boxing event this Saturday night at the Agricenter International Amphitheater here in Memphis. Mike is 21-0 in his professional career with 13 knockouts. He's ranked in the top 80 in the world out of about 2,000 middleweight fighters. Stevie Morgan is from Tampa, Florida. She made her pro debut back here in Memphis in June. She is in the 135-pound lightweight division and is 2-0 with 2 knockouts, both coming in the first round. She has a fight here in Memphis too this Saturday night. Guys, welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up?
How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you, guys. Stevie, I'll only ask you this first question since Mike answered it back when I interviewed him in June on the podcast with me. Tell us something interesting about yourself most people don't know.
I would say most people don't probably know that I work really, really hard, or they don't know how hard I work and how dedicated I am to what I'm doing.
Where did you learn that self-discipline?
My coach, I think, instilled it in me, and I just do it with anything that I do outside the ring, inside the ring. I take the same approach.
That's awesome. You know, Mike, your trainer is Manette Flowers, and he's the one that, really got you into boxing, and you call him your, quote, personal hero. Tell us a little bit more about him and what he's meant to you in your life.
Well, really, Stevie can answer that question just as well as I can. We actually, me and her both got a similar connection in that way. I can say hands down almost everything I learned or I believe in this boxing game I really got from him. It's funny, and now I think I've known him too long. I talk to people and I give them advice, and I'm like, dang, that's advice Manette gave me. So it's just somebody I really look up to. I look up to him as like a big brother, but at the same time, like as a role model too, man. He eats, sleeps, breathes this boxing game, and it's amazing to me how things come full circle sometimes, because he gave me my pro debut, and it was just meant so much to me. The last fight was Stevie's pro debut, for her to pro debut on this show that I was having here, so it meant a lot to me. He is I honestly, God, I wouldn't do this anymore if he wasn't involved in it.
That's right. That's a big testament to him. Stevie, you recently started your professional career, as Mike was talking about, back here in June. And I understand that you and Manette met in Las Vegas. Tell us a little bit about that encounter and what it's done for you and how you originally got involved in boxing.
I originally got in boxing a few years before I actually met Manette. Well, I took an interest in boxing, but nobody really took me seriously. I think that's a big problem in female boxing. I really wanted to fight. I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I was going to be good in it, but nobody really believed in me. And yet saw how bad I really wanted it, and he took the time to take me serious and show me really how to do it.
That means everything, isn't it? When someone gives you their time, that means everything.
It's everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that shows they really care, and that's so
Absolutely.
super important. Mike, not only are you a professional boxer, but you're also a promoter, you're a trainer, and you also give a lot back to the community. We talked last time about you have a boxing program where you work with former offenders, to help them deal with trauma. And I think even more amazing than that, and that's so amazing, is that you work with kids in the community here. And on Wednesday, there was a big event at Levi Elementary here in Memphis, and it was a boxing media day. I know Stevie was there too. Tell us about that day, your message at the end that you left with the kids, and what you guys did for the kids.
So basically, to break down like a boxing media day, it was like an open work. It's not quite like an open workout, but it's more like a pep rally, and it's cool. Levi, it goes kindergarten through 5th grade, and I've been there a couple times before, and it's cool. I've got to see a lot of the kids grow up, but I think Steve would agree with this. Just as much as it was for them, it was for us too, man. Like to come in there and those kids don't look at you with they don't look at you like how adults look at you. You know what I mean? They look at us like superheroes. You know what I mean? To get mobbed by kids is a different feeling. Like they really appreciate you for what you're doing. So I got a special place in my heart for that school. I plan on going back as much as I can. And it was a big thing for me to have Stevie come because, you know, again, having somebody believe you for them kids, especially the girls there, to see a girl that does that can do that the way she did it, it meant a lot. They were mind blown. The assistant principal there, Teresa Glover, put on a Facebook post, she said it was cool because they saw, okay, this guy wants to be Muhammad Ali, but she showed that girls can be a Layla Ali too. So I thought that was real cool. So that school always has welcomed me in, and I was glad Stevie was here to be a part of that with me. It was real cool. It was real cool. I mean, there was some loud kids, man. It was loud. It was loud in there, and they just had an open heart. And as far as like the message at the end is same thing she mentioned about Mayette earlier about having somebody believe in you. You know, that's what a lot of kids miss out on is, you know, feeling like somebody believes in them. And I just told the kids, you got to dream big. You can't have small dreams. You know, I'm a firm believer if you got small dreams, you get small things back. So, you know, dream big. You know, dream big. Why not? And then, you know, just try to be the best version of yourself. You know, and everything else will take care of itself.
I understand. You also had a chance to meet Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris.
Yeah. Me and Steve got to go in there and meet Lee Harris. He's a very nice guy. Very nice guy. Very nice.
Mayette went to Levi Elementary, right?
Yeah. That's why I said full circle, brother. Let me tell you how full circle this is. The reason Stevie was able to be here yesterday for that is because the storm that's happening in Florida.
Right.
So they came early. So yeah, just everything works out the way it's supposed to, man.
Right. Stevie, what did you think about the time at Levi?
Oh, it was a great experience. It was cool. Afterwards, a bunch of girls called me over. The little girls called me over, and they're, I want to be a boxer when I grow up. And they were talking to me for a minute. So it was a really cool feeling.
You know, that's awesome. You know, Mike, you and I have talked about it. It's so important to get to these kids when they're young. You get to them where they have great role models and good people to see and everything. That just means, just like you said, it means everything.
It does, man. Like I think it's such a cliche thing to say that the kids are our future, but hey, literally the kids are our future. You know what I'm saying? So I love the work I do with everybody else, but kids mean something to me, man. Because like I said, one of the reasons Mayette's such a important person to me, besides him being such a good friend and in the boxing. When I was a kid, he was the first boxer I ever seen in person. And I just was mind blown. I was blown away by him. And because he was so scary looking, killing the bag and stuff like that. But first thing he did, he came over there and he held mitts for me and and he's like, hey, you got a good right hand. And he just dropped little things off like that all the time. So, you know, to have a role model, and I ain't necessarily got to be a role model, but just somebody that, like, you know, you look up to and you know is nice to you, actually, even is a big thing. Like I told the kids too yesterday, and I've been telling a lot of people this, like, you never know, man, like you might be the only good somebody encounters in the day. You know what I mean? So like, why can I cuss?
Yes.
Can I be why be an asshole when it's so much easier to be nice? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's all.
You know, speaking of young people, Mike, you recently were in the ring with a young man named Terrence. He had brain surgery at Le Bonheur.
Yeah.
I understand he might be at the fight this weekend. Tell us a little bit about him.
I'm not 100% sure he's gonna be at the fight, but we hope he's gonna be at the fight. But this how tough this kid is. This man had brain surgery week before, and the week after walked out of Le Bonheur. So that's a big deal. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he's a tough kid, and he's obsessed. When I say obsessed with boxing. It's all he watches, all he's on. He's always trying to punch something.
I saw the video of him punching. That was pretty good.
Yeah. He can hit too. That kid can hit too.
That's great. Stevie, Mike just talked about that you had to leave Tampa earlier this week. Obviously everybody knows that the hurricane is down there and everything. I mean, is your family and people down there that they're okay?
Oh yeah, everybody that I've spoken to so far said everything's okay. I think the worst is no power, but I think everything in Tampa is okay.
Good. That's great to hear. In preparation for the fight, Mike, I know you went down to Florida, a couple different times to train with Monette. How did your training go down there, and how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel great. The same thing Stevie mentioned earlier, like Monette instills, that's his big thing. Work hard. Like how can somebody beat you if you work hard? Like in your mind, you always got to have this idea that you got to work harder than your opponent. But I got to go there at the beginning of this camp, and then at the end of the camp, and I got to finish the touches on things and got a chance to train alongside Stevie. And one thing that's fun about that is like she when she say something they don't know about her, she a hard worker. She is a hard worker. She works hard. And just that's my mindset. I always say always working. I always want to work hard. Like I always feel like as far as like speed or power or anything like that, if I'm working hard, that's gonna cover that gap. And she kind of, I feel like, I can't speak for her, but I feel like she takes the same approach. She works so hard. How you gonna beat somebody that works that hard? You know what I mean? Like I hate to say it, but like I'm in the ring for like you got to kill me. You know what I mean? Because I worked that hard. So it was good to go finish up. Hey, let me tell you something. You don't know. I didn't know how to swim until last week, and Maya had us doing these drills, and I'm watching Stevie zoom up and down we're in an Olympic size pool down the lanes, and I was doggy paddling up and down, and they embarrassed me so bad I actually learned how to swim last week. So
good for you.
It was a good experience. Yeah, that's what I said. Good. I mean, not enough to be down there where the flood and stuff is at, but I learned how to swim. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was a good experience. Anytime I get to go down there, they got a state-of-the-art gym down there. You walk in, you look to the left, you look to the right. All you see is champions on the wall. They have pictures of past and present, all-time greats, staring down at you while you're working hard. So it's just an amazing feeling in there. So it was great. It was well needed.
Now, speaking of that gym, Stevie, tell us a little bit about Flowers Boxing Lab down there in Tampa that I believe you're a part of.
Oh yeah, it's a 100% private professional boxing gym. Like Mike was saying, the setting is super unique. Champions on the wall, 2 rings, no air conditioner. It has everything, everything that you need to be a champ.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you guys
had and that's where you get the one-on-one with Monette. So.
How long have you guys had that gym?
It's been almost a year. About a year. Yeah.
And I heard it's going really well.
Oh yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I would honestly say this. I just want to say this about this gym. It'd be hard for somebody to say they've stepped into a gym that's as nice as that one.
Because it's a state-of-the-art facility for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I paint the picture for you. Walk in, it's a huge ring to the left, elevated ring to the left. It's a ring to the right. You got turf, you got an area to jump rope, speed bag, all kinds of different equipment in the back. And like I said, like hundreds of fighters on the wall looking down on you, man. It's hard not to walk in there and not be inspired. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to walk in there and be inspired. And like she said, no air conditioning, the way you're supposed to train.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't cook with cold grease. So it's hot in there. It's hot in there. You think it's hot outside, get in there.
Well, that must be just such an amazing atmosphere there.
It is.
That's awesome.
It is.
So Stevie, your opponent this weekend is Kim Colbert. What do you know about her, and how did you prepare for the fight?
We know that she's been in there a lot of times. She's super experienced. We know she hasn't been stopped often. So we prepared for the best Kim Colbert to show up. And if the best Kim Colbert does show up, it's going to be a great fight Saturday night. And we have every intention to stop her.
Wonderful. That's a good attitude right there. Mike, you're about to be a part of the first title fight here that's come to Memphis area since 2007 when Jermaine Taylor and Corey Spinks fought at the FedEx Forum for the middleweight championship of the world. I actually was at that fight and remember it really well.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Really?
a fun night. I think I told
Was
you.
was that was that the was that was at the FedEx by
Yeah,
then,
it was
right?
and that's when I met Hines Ward in the lobby. He was at the fight and everything. I got his autograph that night, which I still have.
That's a Pittsburgh Steelers, so we're gonna
Yeah.
skip that part.
I'm a Steeler fan, so that was one. I'm the only one that
We're gonna skip
recognized him.
that part.
Yeah, everybody, no one was recognizing him. He was standing there talking on his phone, and there was probably a bodyguard next to him, and the guy's just looking around, and I got his attention, and I said, "Now autograph, please." And he goes like this, but he's like sort of said, "Please be quiet." He didn't want to have too much attention, so it was cool. I went over there and just got his autograph.
They probably didn't recognize him because his head is as big as the football helmet itself. So,
dogging my Steelers, not nice. So, Mike, you're fighting Miguel Angel Juarez for the National Boxing Association Middleweight Championship of the World. You know, you've been at this for over 25 years now, and you've come a long way, and you finally get your first title shot. Tell us a little bit about the journey and what this feels like for you.
I'm the type of person, I don't never try to like stop and reflect, stop and smell the roses, stop and smell the flowers, because I always feel like when you do that, I feel like the quote Kobe, like job not finished, you know what I'm saying? So I try not to like think about stuff like that, but I'm excited. I've worked hard, but this is a milestone or maybe like a what do you call it? A small goal of bigger goals. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it like this is something I got to get done. This is something that would be great to give my daughter. You know what I'm saying? This is great again, great for the city. I can't wait to God willing win it and take it back to Levi, show those kids and stuff like that. But it's all about the hard work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I one day I'll be able to stop and look back and be like, wow, these are great things I got to do, but I'm doing what I feel like I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? I think it's important. You feel like this is what you're supposed to do if you work hard. That's the result of working hard. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, like boxing, I love boxing. I love boxing more. Boxing is my first love. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is 100% my first love. I think I told you last time I played, like, I just want to be Muhammad Ali. That's all I wanted to be when I was a kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I just fell in love with the sport. And I can't stop and look at it because I'm not done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not looking through my rear view. I'm looking through my windshield. You know what I mean? So,
you know, I look at boxing overall and I remember growing up as a kid in the 80s and 90s watching it. And back then, people used to think people in their mid-30s were old for boxing. But it's completely changed now. It's not that way anymore. I mean, you know, Floyd Mayweather fighting in his 40s and still, you know, winning titles and competitive in his early 40s. And do you think that you guys asked both of you guys this question? Do you think that the advanced training and technology and everything has just changed the sport a little bit? Stevie, you first.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say people are taking care of themselves better, training better. So I think it's making everybody, you know, age is nothing now.
Right. You know, I remember Muhammad Ali being 36 and them saying he's old for fighting. I mean, he's done, you know, and everything. But, you know, Mike, obviously, I mean,
yeah,
you're getting towards 35 in you know, the next couple of years. But you're still, I mean, peak performance.
I put it to you like this. You look at what folks was doing for one. Folks was doing back then. You talking about boxers. Boxing's a brutal sport, right? Go look at football players. Go look at basketball players. Go look at any sport. And the athletes, 30 was done, right? I'll do better. When you looked at 30-year-olds in general, when you were a teenager or a kid, you're like, oh, that's over with.
Right.
Hey, they sailing off in the sunset. And I'll tell you this, you can look at some 30-year-olds now and say the same thing. But now we understand how to take care of our body a little bit better. Like she said, we you know, recovery is a big part. Recovery is not something you do in addition to training. It's part of training. You know what I mean? We just find different ways to take care of ourselves physically and we're smarter in that way. It's not crazy now for athletes to play or participate in a sport way past what I think this will be the norm. I
Right.
think like what a LeBron, you just saw Terrell Owens last month run a 4.5 at
I saw that.
46 or 47. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you take care of yourself. People aren't going and getting fat in between fights or in the off season and stuff like that no more. They're taking that time to get better. You know what I mean? And that's being a professional.
Absolutely.
Custom Modest said boredom makes you old in boxing, like the fear of fighting or the pressure of the hard work. So if you don't have that, then you're not gonna, that's what makes you old, is when you start to not want to do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Great quote.
Yeah.
Mike, there's 12 fights on the card the Saturday night at the Agricenter. And I know, two of the fighters that I saw last time that I had a chance to meet and talk to you a little bit really impressed the heck out of me, and Joseph Britton and Harold Jackson. And tell us a little bit about the different fights this weekend, some of the fighters and who are part of this event.
You got me and Juarez fighting for the National Boxing Association title. And the co-main event is Dion Nicholson, an undefeated cruiserweight, big puncher, tough fighter, versus Alan Melson. I think he's also from Alabama. He's also a big puncher and a tough fighter, so they're going to be fireworks. And then Harold Jackson, somebody from my camp, Harold Jackson, versus Jimmy Ford, the undefeated fighter. I believe they're fighting for the ABF title. So they're going to be a great fight as well. And we talked about Stevie. I've seen Stevie train forever. Like one thing she didn't mention, she said, what about, so somebody don't know, Stevie was a very, very high level amateur. So, I mean, she got a lot of tools in that toolbox. She just modest. I'm not modest. I say whatever I want to say.
Right.
She got a lot of tools in that toolbox. She does. So hopefully we see the best Kim Colbert, so we can see her show you that toolbox she got. You know what I mean? She don't just bring a hammer to the job. She got the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So also, like you said, you mentioned Joseph Britton, another guy from my camp. Joseph Britton, man, hard worker. He built like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And it just shows you his hard work, man. The man works hard. I can't pronounce the guy. I can't think of the guy's name he's fighting. I think it's Austin something. But Joe's prepared, man. Joe works hard. Works real hard. It's hard for me to catch him slipping, man. He works real hard. And another guy I've known since I was a kid, since I was an amateur, named Darren Words. He's making his pro debut on this show, and I've known him forever, man. Sparred with him, known him. We were both high level amateurs in the city. Like, just happy for him having this pro debut on this show. It's an honor to me. So, and then it's a host of other awesome shows or awesome fights. There's nothing but competitive fights on this card. So I'm excited for everybody to see how competitive this card is going to be, how fun it's going to be. It's going to be a great night of fights.
Stevie, I was noticing when I watched you, when you're here in June boxing, you're really aggressive and you're on the attack. And I love that style. Where did you get that from?
He made me an aggressive counter puncher. So we're always looking to win, but we're always looking to get him out of there quick.
Did he teach you that same thing, Mike?
Yeah, that's actually what we call my style, aggressive counter puncher. so basically, Mike, let me tell you something. So basically what we're trying to say is Mayette is crazy. And he wants us to get these folks out of here. He wants us to get these folks out of here, man. That's what we train to win the fights, but we want the knockout.
Yeah, I love aggressive style. That's what I love to watch. Yeah, it's my favorite style. Yeah,
that's all action.
Absolutely. So speaking of a big day, Mike, you have another huge day coming up soon, and that's on Saturday, November 19th. Tell the audience what's going on that day.
Oh, wow, Mike, you got me. That's funny. I'm getting married on November 19th. Yeah, I'm getting married on November 19th. I'm getting to Jasmine Baker, my longtime girlfriend. Wow, Mike, that was a good one. But hey,
I have a few.
oh yeah, hey, that boy crazy. But yeah, I'm getting married November 19th. So
How
yeah,
did you and
another big
Jasmine
day.
meet?
Boxing. Boxing. She came into the gym. I was training at the time, and we just hit it off. She took a liking to boxing, and it just kind of blossomed from there. Became good friends.
Yeah, I've had the chance to meet her a couple different times, and she's a sweetheart. So congratulations to both of you. That's
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you both.
She's an aggressive counterpuncher too. And I ain't talking about boxing.
Stevie, my last question is for you. What are the most important lessons that you've learned in life?
Oh man,
Hit you with the deep question, didn't it? Look,
deep
hit you
question.
with a deep question.
There's a lot of important lessons I've learned in life.
You're on mute, Stevie. There you go.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay.
Do everything. Probably the biggest thing is, do everything at 1,000%, don't cut any corners.
I love it.
That's great. That's a great lesson. And if you
I
live
love
that
it.
way,
That's
you're going to be really successful. So good for you.
Yep.
And I wanted to, can I go back to a question you asked me previously too?
Absolutely.
And add something really fast?
Sure.
You were asking me how I prepared for this fight, and I didn't mention another fighter that Manette trains is Tierra Brown. And she's next in line for the world title, and was number one in the world as an amateur. And she helped me prepare for this fight also. She's my chief sparring partner. And she's actually a police officer in Fort Myers. And they just got hit head on with this hurricane. So she's out there right now, like in the middle of it.
Wow.
And, just wanted to give her a shout out.
Great.
Wow.
That's wonderful. That's very nice of you to do. Once again, it's this Saturday night.
And I had another sparring partner too named Natalie. She helped me out. But I really wanted to Tierra Brown. She's a champ in and out of the ring. Like she's down there in the middle of that hurricane, in the flooding and all that, helping people out. So
that's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. Can't even imagine even trying to do that. I mean, can't even imagine. Yeah, just the pictures I've seen. It's not good. Yeah. Yeah,
it's pretty rough down there.
So we'll say once again the Saturday night, it's at the Agricenter International Amphitheater. Memphis Boxing is sponsored by 116 Boxing Promotions in association with Mike Cook Boxing, Lifeline to Success, and Billy Richmond and the Wing Guru. There's going to be 12 fights on the card. Michael Cook is going to be fighting his first career championship belt, representing the city of Memphis, which is really exciting. And Stevie's going to be going for her third knockout this weekend, which I expect to see. Doors open at 6:00. And I believe that I could tell you from being there back in June, that it was so much fun. The atmosphere is incredible. It's exciting. It's just a great event. And if you can go, please go. Michael, can people get tickets online if they want to purchase them before Saturday?
Tickets on eventbrite.com. It's under Memphis Fight Night. Fight Night. You can type in Memphis Boxing as well. This bald, handsome, light-skinned guy with a beard will pop up. That's me. Click that, and then you can get tickets. I just want to add to what you said about the event in June. If you've never been to live boxing, man, it's different. Once you get a taste of it, man, you want to go to every fight you can. So I encourage everybody to come out and enjoy it, and just, all of us gonna put on a good show. And it's a family friendly event, so you can make it.
I have to add to that. I was telling you, I went to that fight, Jermaine Taylor and Corey Spinks at the FedEx Forum in 2007. The atmosphere there compared to the atmosphere in the small place at the amphitheater blew it away. I mean, that fight was, fun to watch, but there wasn't that exciting atmosphere in there that you have. But in a smaller place like where you guys are fighting, it's there.
And that's kind of what we was really going for. We did it in a big room one time, and you know, like I like the idea of selling the place out. It was cool there, but it wasn't the same as this. I really like the amphitheater, and I know it's gonna be bigger this time. So, like I said, this is a stacked card. It's not a bad fight on the card. So, you know, don't take my word for it. You'll see. You know what I mean? Don't take my word for it. You'll see.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I can tell you that once again. And if you're able to go out this Saturday night, once again, doors open at 6 o'clock at the amphitheater at Agricenter International. You know, guys, I know both of you guys are super busy in preparation here, the final preparation for the fight and your last bit of training, getting prepared. And I really appreciate that you guys took the time to come on today to talk about this weekend and a little about your careers too. It's been fun.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks so much, and look forward to
Appreciate
seeing you guys kicking some ass this weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
see you Saturday.
All right.